Guys, welcome back to another Warrior A to Z in Smite Conquest. Today we're playing Nike. Nike is potentially one of the tankiest characters in the game if you build her right. And she can just do insane amount of damage with how tanky she is if you build the right items. So pretty excited to get a game on her. I really like Nike. I think she's a really fun character to kind of just run at people and be really kind of just a tanky menace. I used to love old Runeforge on Nike. I actually used to play that a lot in ranked because it was so good. Because the way old Runeforge worked was it's pretty much how Stone of Binding is, where it had Stone of Binding a passive, where based on the CC you did, it did extra damage if they were CC'd. It didn't count certain CCs like knockbacks and knockups and stuff like that. So Runeforge still does the same thing as it did, kind of, but now it procs on any hard CC and creates a big damage field. Anyway, yeah, we're just playing some Nike against Raijin solo, of course. Mage solos right now really strong. You're gonna probably be seeing them a lot in your games. So knowing that it was going to be a Raijin solo, or at least maybe a Morrigan solo, we'll go in the magical defense first. We're probably going to build into a Genji's. Going to be pretty decent against this team with 3 magicals. Going to be able to proc it a lot. And it's just like one of the tankiest like magical defense types you can go. And it's pretty cheap, and it's got a lot of good stats on it. It's got cooldown, it's got MP5, magical protection, of course, health, I think. Just a really decent item. We're gonna lose against Raijin early, and that's totally fine. I mean, that's just the nature of the mage solo. Is they can kind of just out clear you from range, and they can heal a lot with their vamp that they usually go vamp pythag start. They'll be able to out secure you if you're doing buffs. So you just kind of have to, if you're gonna be playing like a warrior in this meta, you kind of have to like play a bit safer, at least in the early game. It's not like, I mean, you're gonna get like, you're gonna have trouble most of the actual lane until you actually start rotating and start being like a menace in the back line. But the reason why people are going mages is because they can do the same thing, but like also just do way more damage than you and still be the same amount of tanky. But we're gonna, we'll heal up decent with our pots, and we want to at least show that we're not a coward. We want to be at least present in the laning phase a little bit. We're actually getting ganked by Baka. We're totally fine though. Yeah, he doesn't have his ult or anything, and we hopefully, yeah, hopefully he doesn't. Oh man, he actually might go for the invade. Yeah, there's not too much we can do here. We're gonna have to try to do damage. Yeah, not much we can do other than just trying to burst it before Baka tries to eat it. That's just how it goes. Laning, or just having a Baka on the enemy jungle team. It's kind of just gonna happen. That's fine though. We can back, upgrade our teleport, and build into the second tier of that item we're going. And we're just going to continue the laning phase. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of decent poke on us with his 2 and his 1, his Raiju. It's going to spread a lot. He's also going to be able to, if he's safe enough, if he has the wave clear and he feels he can do it, he should be able to interrupt a lot of our abilities with his dash. It's because it's kind of like a mini mez. So that's really unfortunate. We have our ult now. Our ult's gonna come in handy in this lane a lot. It's gonna keep us. It's gonna make sure that we're staying alive for ganks and for just the amount of damage that this guy's gonna do to us. So that's one thing that's really nice about Nike ult. I think Nike's just a really splendid character. I think she's really really strong. Only problem is, and it's probably why you don't see her a lot in SPL at all, is she's really easy to counter. With her whole like thing being like the giant shield she gets from her ult. Oh boy, this actually might get kind of close. We could go on this guy. We have a time at jungle, by the way. That sucks. I shouldn't have ulted there. I should have expected his dash to be back up. And now he knows it won't be up for a while, so that could potentially mean Baka can gank for free and kind of just kill us if we don't have our jump up. Plus, I mean, his ult, once he lands it on us, we're going to be crippled for a bit too, so yeah, we'll be a little susceptible to gank, but yeah, that's just the way it's going to be. We're going to back, even though we can't really buy anything, we'll just get a ward. We're going to back because we were low health and mana. What was I saying? Yeah, she's just an easily counterable character, so with the new item erosion, it's not super new, but it's been in the game for I don't know, 7 months maybe. I think ever since the big healing update came out. I think there were more answers for shields. They like fine-tuned items and changed items, so they offer some shield reduction when you land it. We're actually gonna rotate mid here. Then might see if we can help here at least a little bit. Yeah, try to chase down. I actually don't know if that's a real Baka. Probably not. And Raijin's here. There's not a whole lot we can do, especially without our ult. Let's just play pretty careful. Time that's going in. We'll try to go in with her, but yeah, she's just dead. She didn't get a whole lot of follow-up there, but it just kind of just was unavailable. Get our ult off. We do get the kill on Raijin. That's good. Maybe I just wanted to use the ult there for the slow and the damage that you get off. It wasn't necessarily for actually having the extra health. It's not like we really needed it. We aren't the ones getting gone on, but it's still good to get that damage and slow off if it's at all useful. Unfortunately, we just got invaded again, but yeah, I'm just gonna back in my item, get some wards, and we're just gonna TP back to lane. That's how it be. You got Shabaka. You're gonna get invaded. He's gonna eat your buff. He's gonna walk away. You just gotta watch it happen. That is what's gonna happen. It's fine though. We don't super need the blue, especially with the items we got. I mean, we got plenty of MP5 with Bluestone and Genjis. We'll look at the buff just so we can see the timer again. It is unfortunate we're losing out on the XP though, so Raijin is going to be a bit ahead of us in farm because of that reason. That's why it's kind of important to, like, if you're jungling or if you're support, it's kind of important to like make sure your buff's not getting stolen. Sometimes it's unavoidable, of course, but if you can help it a little bit, you know, it's definitely good to look towards. Timeout's ganking. Baka's here as well. Might just get some damage, get some poke on Raijin. I'm actually gonna jump on this guy and ult him. He actually might just die from that. He will. Nice. Provide some CC. Wow, we actually might kill this guy. Yeah, I don't think he was at all safe to fight that, even with his ult. I don't think he just doesn't have the damage for killing either of us there, since we're both kind of pretty healthy. It's a good fight for us. Timeout jungle actually kind of popping off. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I was talking about the camp XP. It's not so much that they're losing the camp because of the actual buff it gives you. It's because of the XP that you're losing. Is why it's kind of important that, you know, that you're actually getting your buffs, because they do provide you with farm, and farm is good. We're never gonna be able to beat this guy, by the way, when it comes to like securing totem and doing totem. That's why I'm not at all focused on hitting it. I'm just hitting him, because even though he's gonna outclear us and outdamage us with like totem secure, while he does that, we can kind of just be annoying and just get damage on him for free. We got plenty of mana. I'm gonna use the ult here just to kind of make myself safe enough. It's only 1 HP. Didn't quite have the damage for that, but yeah, not a bad trade overall. Ult for ult. I mainly just ulted there to make sure I was safe enough that in case I was getting ganked, I'd already have the shield helping me, and I was also trying to time it, so you definitely wanted to taunt me a little bit there, and I wanted to try to time the CC immunity your ult gives you with some of those taunts. Not for any reason particularly, just because I thought it would have been cool. And just in case you didn't know that, yes, Nike's ult is CC immune for like a split second. As right as you cast it, you actually are CC immune, and you can time it with like Ares ult and stuff like that. It just might be a little tricky. And yeah, we're building right into the Glad Shield after the Genjis, because it's gonna be just another way to get off a lot of proc damage. We're gonna be really tanky this game. We're gonna be building as tanky as we can, and Glad Shield is gonna give us a lot of damage for how tanky we're gonna get. Yep, so we're just keeping up the pressure on this guy. Not so much on the camp pressure, but just like hitting him over and over again. Also just being able to hit him while we clear wave as well is what kind of makes Nike... She really feels like a really decent mage counter in solo. Just because if once you get that Genji's, once you get that hard magical defense online right away, you have plenty of range poke yourself. That's a lot where the matchup kind of like becomes a problem, is that the fact that they're out clearing you and they're out healing you, but they're also doing it from range, so they're really safe. The fact that you can actually be put plenty safe with your tankiness and just have the ranged poke to fight these guys is what makes it so good. I'm gonna go on Raijin here. If he doesn't get his dash off in time, he's just gonna die. You're able to get the ult off and finish him with an auto there. We might kill Baka. He's 1 HP. Bluestone, please. No Bluestone, and yeah, Morgan's here, but we should be fine. She's just coming to make sure we don't get too hasty. I don't know if we could have died to that. I don't think so. Maybe if I saved my jump for driving him under tower instead of trying to catch him. I didn't think he'd jump away like that. We're gonna build in that Glad Shield. We're gonna get some blinks because I like blink Nike ulting. That's what I like to do on certain warriors, or it benefits them to kind of blink ult fights, blink ult carries. And they get all scared. It's funny. It's funny stuff right there. Yeah, we're really holding our own against one of the best solo mages in the game right now, Raijin. Really strong in solo lane. And again, like, if just to reiterate, if you know, it'd probably be a lot more useful if Nike didn't get countered by Erosion, the anti-shield item, and Sunder as well. So the fact that Sunder does a lot to break shielding. Because if you are playing like Nike and in like competitive games and ranked games and in SBL and stuff, you're gonna be seeing those erosions. You're gonna notice the impact it makes to your ults. You're gonna notice that when you ult, your shield's a lot smaller, like half the size. And people, if there's, you know, people will be smart enough to pick up Sundering against you, whether it be the solo laner if they go a second relic, if they go TP first relic and go Sundering second. That's usually what happens when you play against characters like Nike. So that's kind of the trade-off. Is it's the same with playing like, I don't know. It's the same as playing like Odin and people with like a lot of healing in their kit. Like, you're gonna see that, and you know, you're gonna be really useful. But like, you know, Odin's gonna get countered by Phantom Shells, and then like if people play characters like Anubis and Aphros, you're gonna get countered by Odin ults, and there's counters to everything, almost everything. So like, people sometimes have more deadly or more easily applied counters. Like, once someone is there's certain characters that once they're countered, they're a lot worse than a normal character that gets countered. Trying to ult us for some reason, just clearing wave and doing damage to us. We can kind of just avoid a lot of his damage. Just kind of trying to get the damage off on this Bastion so we can kill it and walk away. Just kill it Bluestone here, and we should just be able to run away. Really don't need to sit here and just take his poke and fight him. Unless I want to. Yeah, we're trading with him really well. That might change when he gets a lot tankier, because that's the thing with mage solos, is they're gonna get a lot tankier than they are mid to early game, but they're gonna be doing a lot similar damage to what they're doing right now. It's because of that fucking mage class passive where they get a lot of free power, which it does a lot for them in solo lane. Another part of why they're so strong is that they can build really tanky. But with Vamps and Pythags, they can have so much sustain. And just the fact that they're getting tons of free power from building full tank, like they will have like close to the same power as like a full damage mage by the end of the game if they're building like normally, like the normal mage solo build, which it looks like Raijin's going to do, because of that mage passive. And we're not. I mean, we'll hit hard with our proc items. The blue stone's gonna help us a lot. Glad shit's gonna help us a lot, and we'll be really tanky. But realistically, we're just not gonna have as much damage as the mage solos, and we're just not gonna have as much sustain. So that's kind of the downfall. I'm not here to voice any solutions. There's probably a lot of things they could do to fix that. I don't know what the proper way to do it would be. Maybe just to nerf some of the items that make mage solos so good. Like maybe Pythax needs a nerf with some of its stats or how much healing it gives or how cheap it is. Or maybe... Baka, what are you doing? Wow, we were actually able to burst that just before he ate that. That's really funny. Yeah, anything they can do. Maybe reduce the amount of magical power they get with their magical passive. Yeah, I don't know what the best way to go would be. Maybe there's a thing they can do to warriors that would help balance it out. Like maybe bring back power to items like Glad Shield. Like bring back like true bruiser items that have power and defense on at the same time. Because I know that was a thing they mostly got rid of. Yeah, we were doing a lot less damage now. He's gotten a lot tankier. And we're getting to the point where we're getting pretty tanky, but we're doing a lot less damage now. Just like getting ganked by the Cerberus. It's kind of weird. I don't really know if Tiamat needs to gank this. There's not really a point. We can go in though. I guess Hera's slowly rotating. Might be able to get a kill here. Looks like these guys are just running away though. Raijin dash is down. Get an ult on him. Too bad. Yeah, he has his dash up again. He's pretty much... I mean, Raijin's pretty much full cooldown at this point. So, he's going to have that dash up a lot. Yeah, and Hera just kind of dies, and I don't think we're going to get a trade back for it. Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't really want that game to come through. It's to we kind of gain nothing on that. And they get Gold Fury for us being kind of distracted over here. Tiamat and Hera probably could have just rotated right to help with that fight. That's the way it goes, though. Hopefully, in these late game fights, we're going to be able to do a decent amount to be good in this game. That is kind of the problem with mage solos being meta right now, is that if you're not playing a mage solo, you're just and another person is. Other soul laner is, you kind of just eventually you're just, unless there's just a big skill difference, they're gonna be bringing a lot more to fights, and that's just it's kind of unfortunate that's the way it is. We're just gonna see if we can try to match Raijin's impact on the rotations. And with Nike, as long as they're not building too much to counter me, and as long as we get really good team fights off, should be fine. Erosion would actually be really good against our entire team. We kind of drafted a shield draft. We got the Geb shield, Hera shield, and Nike shield, so Erosion would be really smart against us. I mean, that's the reason why anti-shield items exist, is because there's a lot of shielding in Smite. A lot of characters with shields, and Hi-Rez has a really weird system, has a really weird hierarchy on how shields get applied. See if we can go on the Morgan here. She actually just might be dead. She's pretty slow, and she might just be dead to the Ram ult. She is. Yeah, Hi-Rez has got a weird take on how shielding works, because some shields like completely trump others. Like if you have one shield on you and there's a character that can give you a shield, sometimes you're getting a shield replacement with a smaller shield. I can't give you a specific example. It's something with like Geb and Odin, I think. Or maybe it's Geb and yeah, I don't quite know, but the way the shields stack in this game is really weird. Like the fact that Nike, like Pridwin doesn't really work on Nike is that's a thing in the game, and like I guess how that would work is you ult to get the big shield, and then after the ult's finished, you get your Pridwin shield. But like, yeah, it's kind of weird. And the fact that Pridwin also the Pridwin doesn't work with Nike, right? Like you won't actually get the passive off. Like you might get the timer, but the actual shielding won't happen because of how things are coded. But Pridwin shield will actually stack with Robin and Lance. We're actually gonna go in the pocket here. Should be dead. We got CC'd a lot. Gotta keep running these guys down. Still really tanky. We can kind of just run at these guys for a little bit. Get a little extra shitting from Geb. Yeah, we can just back up and do Pyro. That's totally fine. While they do that, I might just stick around and see if these guys come up to us. Just gonna be poking out the Raijin, the character that kind of matters the most out of these two. Morgan is coming. She just went invis. That's her escape ability up. If she tries to come up to this, we actually can go on her. That's what I'm gonna try to do. See if I can keep chasing her. I'm gonna jump on her here. I just missed the jump, unfortunately. I know she went behind me somewhere. There she is. Yeah, we might be diving a little too deep at this point. See if we can just help the Gep get out. She might just be dead. And we actually just might be dead to Surge Bolts. Just really low. Damn. If I tried using my 1 for a split second there and getting that 1 off instead of trying to jump away, I think I probably could have killed Serb there. But I just wanted to see if I could get away from that fight. Taima and Hera actually showing up to that is huge, though. Oh, Hera, get in there. Nice. It's fine. We got big Argus, big A. He's helping our boy out. Nice. The blink was a little weird. Blinking into Hera abilities. Oh, got the Aegis. Should be just dead. Nice. Can't fight the Argus. The Argus is too strong. Yeah, like I was, kind of just finishing off what I was saying. I was kind of getting a little too into it. Shielding in this game works weird. Some shields work. Some shield passives work with other shield passives. Ravana has a big shield passive. Pridwin stacks with that when he ults. Lance, Pridwin shield stacks. Like he gets a giant shield. He builds up a giant shield when he's on the horse. He gets that entire shield after he ults, and Pridwin stacks with that. Like, why is it okay for Pridwin to stack with those ults, if it doesn't stack with Nikes? It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. Just wanted to keep the Serp away from our boys while they did Cold Fury there. Totally fine just backing away at this point. Resetting. Yep, again, we got a really tanky build going here. We got the Stone of Binding. Kind of effectively just old Runeforge, but without any power. Basically getting extra damage by reducing prots on getting CC on people. And Nike has a lot of slows and a lot of hidden CC. Literally all 4 of Nike's abilities can proc Stone of Binding, which is not common with warriors. Not all abilities with most warriors stack Stone of Binding, which is why old Runeforge and current Stone of Binding is a pretty good item for Nike. I love going Stone of Binding, one of my favorite items in the game. And we're also getting the Heart Word, and yep, we're building up a lot of magical defense against these guys, and we actually went the Heart Word, Emma the Stronghold Heart Word glyph, which I haven't gone in a while. I've been going more towards that breastplate upgrade. That ult didn't hit anybody? That's kind of wild. I thought everyone would be in range of that. They disengaged really hard there, which is kind of odd. I didn't think they'd disengage that hard. I guess they're kind of scared of our team fighting ability. I'm still around, just in case when I keep pushing this tower or something. But yeah, we're really tanky, and we got a lot of magical and physical prots. Actually kind of low on physical prots, but we have a lot of magical prots, which might matter more with their Raijin and Morgan poke. Although Morgan can just turn into the physical and do physical damage and kind of farm us, but yeah, we're probably just gonna get more hybrid defense. Nice, good polymorph. That polymorph was huge. Just go on the Serb here. Should just be dead to our Hunter. Nice. I also didn't. I forgot to talk about it. I went durable drumstick this game instead of like bountiful bow or sturdy stew. I've been trying to like experiment with a little bit, trying to decide if it's like a better, if it's a recipe worth going to at all. And I can't remember when we had it fully built. I think maybe 12 minutes in. I might be wrong on that, but if we're ever in those engagement, like poke engagements with Raijin, and we're kind of just like not taking damage for a little bit, honestly, it probably helps a lot with our sustain. Just taking less damage after every 5 seconds, I think it gives you a big mitigation. Like whatever you get hit by next, you get 40% mitigation towards that specific damage source. Which might be pretty nice. Who is this, Raijin? What are you doing? Gotta jump in these guys. We're not gonna do anything quite yet. We don't want a full engage. Just want to keep pushing with our Titan. With a full health Titan and Fire Giant, we might be able just to take this Phoenix. Probably fairly easy. I'm gonna blink in and ult right now since Geb went in. Plus we want our Titan to get in there. Unfortunately, Geb kind of got farmed. Still pretty healthy, but we want to make sure we're getting back and helping the boys. We don't want them to die too quickly. Our tank now being dead. We gotta be kind of the main front line of our team. Turn to Baka. He just about got our carry, but we killed him right before. Phoenix is really low. I'm gonna dive in here a little bit. We can take it up a little bit. Hopefully we can get some autos. Maybe not. Damn, that sucks. We weren't able to get the Phoenix there. I could potentially go back in. I'm just getting TP back in. I get my blue stone upgraded here too. TP in. Got our blue stone. Want the brooch, but we can probably, I mean, with how much prot redstone gives you off of landing abilities, like not going in for the attack speed, but for that big protection increase, honestly might be worth a Nike. It feels good on characters like Chalk and stuff, so Chalk, Sun Wukong, Surge, sometimes I like going redstone on those guys. Not necessarily because attack speed is good on those characters, but just because that protection increase could be really good sometimes. Hold up our shield so Honor can kind of auto at us and do nothing, because it's an auto blocking ability, which is really nice. Stops the enemy team from getting close to this gold. We're going to make sure we're securing this. And we could potentially push the right lane too, or back. Kind of depends on what our team wants to do. Looks like we're going to try to, yeah, Geb is kind of just full sending it to mid. Not sure if we're going to push yet. Yep, it looks like we're just backing. With Geb not being here and our juggler backing, it's probably just smart to get a full reset off and group up again. Yeah, we're feeling pretty tanky at this point. We basically just want to be just a walking wall. Walking at the enemy carries. Yeah, look at that. Raijin went Sundering and Erosion, so there's the counters I'm talking about. When you're playing against Nike, like, you can just go these two items and you're literally just not having a shield. You'll get the slow off in your ult, and that's about all you're getting. Try to help our Geb. He's kind of a little far up. They're kind of dumping a ton of shit on him. That's both tank ults now. That's Honor's ult. Jeez. It's a lot of boys. And there's Baka. Yeah, we're just going to try to jump this wall. They actually followed us. We're going to take a lot of damage, but we got boys here with Fire Giant still on them. I'm really low. I kind of just soaked so much damage. Kind of did our job there. Yeah, nice. Carries kind of clean up. And we should just be able to TP in here. We can actually probably just get a couple of Phoenixes. And never mind. We're actually just going to win the game off of that. That was a huge end from the enemy team there. That was a huge end. We did a pretty good job holding our own after our tank had died. Yeah, they got too confident after they killed our support. Usually that is actually a big deal, killing the support and just getting one person off the map for a team fight. But the fact that they had to dump so much into the Geb and that they kept going in afterwards it's kind of what spelled their doom. That's a decent Nike game. We did decent damage. We outdamaged the Raijin. I feel like we played pretty well. The lane went pretty well, which was surprising. Yeah, if you're kind of worried about the Mage solo meta, maybe play some Nike. So yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.